Hey, hope everyone's having a lovely Friday, but as usual, we're gonna go over the figure news and pre-orders that caught my eye this month. So let's get started with the nendoroids. I'm sure a lot of people are interested in Spy Family merch since Season 1 just wrapped up, so you may be happy to know that the nendoroids for Anya, Lloyd, and Yor are all up for pre-order now. Thankfully, they're not too expensive at 5,500 yen, but I assume Good Smile wants you to buy all three. You know, I wasn't too sold on the default faceplate, but now that they showed the other ones, I'm definitely going to be picking her up. And I think they made a smart call by giving her 4 faceplates, a very happy one, the notorious meme face, and as you can see, the shocked face, perfect for pairing with other figures. But as I've said in other videos, I'm not going to be getting Lloyd or Yor because I don't like Anya being the same height as them. But if you are getting them, I do think Lloyd is a pretty good deal since you also get him with his hair down. On the other hand, I do think Yor is a little disappointing. She only has her weapons and 3 faceplates, so she just feels a little more lacking compared to Anya and Lloyd. And 2 of the faceplates are happy ones, so it feels like they kinda overlap. Especially if you compare her to the SH Figuarts one, which has some great faceplates like the crying, serious, and shocked face. But overall, it's still a very cute nendoroid, so I don't blame you if you get it. Since the last recap, Kirby also went out for pre-order, though he pretty much sold out instantly on Ami Ami, which releases in January. They even did a second batch, which comes out in April, but that one also sold out pretty fast. But it shouldn't be too surprising since a 30th anniversary only rolls around once. So if you have any intention of picking this one up, I highly suggest you find another site before it sells out everywhere. Another one that sold out within a day on Ami Ami is the Mary nendoroid. I mean, Whole Life fans are still cracked. I don't know why they don't make more. I feel like these just print money. You would think they would know how much demand there are for these. But since it's sold out, at least I don't have to give in to temptation. I'm sure a lot of people are annoyed, but they are releasing another version of A2. This one has the short hair, mid-drift, and also some new weapons. It's just kind of a bummer if you've already bought the original and you prefer this one. Especially if you're like me and prefer A2's short hair. The Justice nendoroid also went up for pre-order. I think it looks very good. Also up for pre-order is the Reiner nendoroid, which the promotional image goes super hard. Hopefully it doesn't get this video flagged. We also got to see some more images of the Hatsune Miku 15th anniversary. Just looking at it raises my blood sugar levels, but looking at the price, at least on the US store, these desserts are a little hard to swallow. I'm not gonna lie, I picked up a nendoroid skateboard for the lols. I kinda wanted to pick up a hammock too, but at 2100 yen, that's a little too much. That's over a third of the price for a nendoroid. Now, if you didn't see, Kaguya-sama Love is War declared all-out war on Full Metal Alchemist fans. On my anime list, Kaguya took the #1 spot of best anime of all time. I think that's still up for debate, but I will say it was my favorite anime of the season. I even binged the entire manga after season 3, so I'm a little on the Kaguya hype train. So with that, I'm a little tempted to get these Kaguya prize figures. This one is by Taito, which I think makes some of the best prize figures. I think this kimono figure is very pretty. There's also a Chika figure in her sleepwear. Of course, we can't talk about prize figures without Miku. This matcha green tea waitress is very lovely. I'm a little bummed this one isn't a scale figure. I really love the original illustration. I definitely would have ordered this if the sculpt, shading, and detail was a little bit better. This one with an umbrella leaf, also very tempting. Then we have Kid Miku, really love the color scheme on this noodle stopper. The design of the Lonely Sekai Miku, also very good. You got that asymmetry with the tights and the different colored eyes. One of the best signs summer has started are all the beach figures. Usually I'm not too big of a fan of swimsuit figures, but putting them on an inflatable tube just makes it a lot more fun and appealing to me. I really wasn't planning on it, but looking at this, I think I'm gonna have to get Miku. There was also this prize figure of Anya, right in something that might be a spoiler for season 2, or who knows, maybe it's just Lloyd playing horse. Furyu also has a noodle stopper for her, which also can have the meme face, which looks a little bit cursed in this one. Next we have an Ichiban Kuji figure. These ones are sold by lottery in Japan, so they can be a little annoying to get. But you know, it's always nice to see a more unique figure with the TV there. Finally, if you're a fan of Bunny Girl Senpai, there is a blue version now. Also a great option if you're just looking for a cheap bunny figure that also makes sense canonically. I'm sure no one would have guessed, but we got confirmation that Spy Family pop-up parades are being made. Hopefully they make Anya's pop-up really good, or just make it cheaper. We got another Madoka pop-up parade, which is good to see they're still making all the girls. A lot of series for pop-ups are missing a bunch of characters. Just in time for the Fire Emblem 3 Hopes game, pop-ups for Edelgard and Bernadette are up for pre-order. I really wasn't expecting her to get a figure, but we're also getting Dimitri, Felix, Claude, and Lysithea. It's nice we're getting figures for characters outside of the main three. The pop-up parade L's are also up for pre-order. I think if you're buying this off AmiAmi with the yen being kind of weak, I think $55 is a very good price. And I really like this Miku. The sad expression is very different from the usual happy-go-lucky one you always see. I definitely say go for it if you like the regular outfit and you don't have a figure of one yet. Personally, I will be skipping it because I'm going to be getting the Berserk pop-up parade L. I mean, this one speaks for itself. This one is very unique and it's Berserk. Out of the pop-up parade XLs, I do think the Attack Titan is worth it. That is, as long as the yen is low. I mean, for $157, you're getting like a 34 centimeter figure, which is over a foot tall. If you're gonna get a Titan figure, I think you want it to be a big boy. And I think this is your best bet unless you want to go into the thousands with resin statues. Now, I don't know if this figure will be sold on AmiAmi, but this Chinese Miku figure is amazing. And the thing is, she only costs $30. You got this chibi Miku with a fancy umbrella, teapot with water splashing, and these lovely flowers. But if you want more cuteness, we got this very adorable Ribos figure. I believe this character is from VR chat. But you can also change her face out, the fork and knife. She's got a little bakery sign, as well as two little helpers. But Ribos isn't done yet. They also have this tea time cat. This is the second one, and they're going to be making more. Since Fall Guys is free to play now, I guess you can spend your money on figures. You can even try to get the winner golden chicken dinner. I believe this one is exclusive to some stores. But if you have some extra gold laying around, you can also try picking up this 1-to-1 bust of Albedo. It's 660,000 yen, which is like about 5 grand. So yeah, definitely one to bust your wallet. There was also a bunch of colorful Vocaloid figures. Unfortunately, they sell them in pairs, so you might have to buy one you don't want. A little late, but there's also a Nameless King figure for Dark Souls 3. You can also get a toy based on a character from a movie based on another movie about toys. Or you could just get Squid Game figures. Good Smile still going with their Hello line, and what better character for a cutesy art style than Batman. But they also have a limited edition of Ryuko in her Berserk mode, which kind of just looks like a zombie, and as a bonus it also glows in the dark. And if you thought Good Smile wasn't crazy enough, they also have a 43,000 yen doll of Beauty and the Beast. Another crazy company is Square Enix, selling this Kingdom Hearts Mickey Mouse metal figure for $3,700, but this thing is super tiny. They also have this 17,600 yen figure of Cloud, which I think is a little high for how basic it looks and given Square Enix's quality. I really wish Square Enix would give their license and series to other figure companies more often. But on the plus side, they are re-releasing their Flare 2B figure, including the regular and deluxe version. But to go with that, we have the pre-order for A2. But the nice thing is A2 will come in 3 different versions. The first being the long-haired version with the sword. Then there's the short-haired version with the midriff and a spear. But if you're having trouble deciding, you can also get the deluxe version, which has interchangeable parts, so you can always switch between the two. Personally, if you ask me, if you're gonna display her with 2B, I say go with the long-haired version. In my opinion, it just makes more sense story-wise. I probably won't get A2 though, because I'm just not a fan of the face. For me, it's just a little too different from the style of the game. I also wish they picked a cooler pose, like when she crosses her arms, leans back, and taunts you. And then finally for Square Enix, we're also getting an Angela figure from Trials of Mana. If you're like me and you're into that old school JRPG look, I think Angela is one to keep an eye out for. Then we're getting an E-Stream Chainsaw Man figure. I'm amazed they didn't want to wait till the anime got going. You would think with how expensive E-Stream figures are, they would wait till people are more revved up and willing to pay those high prices. Their Sukuna figure also went up for pre-order, easily the best looking Sukuna figure out there in my opinion. It doesn't overdo it with the effect parts and background, and the way the shirt tears is something you just don't really see with a lot of figures, but I still can't get over the fact that he doesn't have any nipples. We are getting a scale figure of Spy Family by Good Smile, but I believe it's only gonna be Yor and Anya. Alter also put out a pre-order for their Rei figure. The jacket looks really well done, but at that point I just rather save my money for the Radio Ava series. And then we got 2 Miku figures which don't come out till 2024. The first is this Acid Trip Miku which costs 45,000 yen, but if you want to huff some copium, it doubles as a nightlight. This one, on the other hand, is only 27,000 yen, but the dress is very pretty, it has a glittery effect to it, and a pretty nice chair if that's where your priorities are. But that's not the only nice chair figure with a bonus waifu. We have this Idolmaster figure. This is made by Seoul International. No idea how much it's gonna cost, but I think I like it more than the Miku figure, just cause she's actually sitting in the chair with some attitude. But if that's not enough red for you, Kotobukiya is releasing an exclusive red version of Joker. But for the moment, I believe you can only get this at Anime Expo. Their Call of the Night figure also went up for pre-order. I think the price is very reasonable for what you get, but I really wish they would stop doing the exclusive parts. It's one thing to do like a bonus sticker or print. I think most people can live without that, but the different hair and face part is probably something a lot of people buying this figure would really want, but they might not even know it exists because it's a store exclusive. Then a company called Kaitendo is making a Toru swimsuit figure based on the original illustration of the mangaka. As you can see, she's rocking some crazy flotation devices, but I just rather have a Toru figure in her regular outfit. Good Smile's 1/6 scale Nakano figure is looking very pretty. From the glossy shine on the headphones to the crazy detail on this pamphlet. I'd love to bust out a magnifying glass and see how legible it is. Mega House also had a pretty charming B-Star figure, though this one might get a little pricey. I also thought their Tamari figure was pretty cool. It's even got a little buddy down there with a sickle. Then Mega House is making a non-lewd figure of Cece, which I didn't even think was possible. Then we're not getting just one but 2 Catgirl figures, both 1/6 scales made by different companies. The first one looks a little bit younger, but her face is just so precious. The second one I think is even cuter. This one's got a cat beanbag and a giant fish plushie. And for an extra 500 yen, you can get the bonus smiling faceplate, which I think is a no-brainer. Then moving on to some Chinese series and companies, Maieto showed off another National Treasure figure, but their other figure, Canon in D major, is absolutely breathtaking. The record player bass is just so fancy, and the design of the piano is just as elegant, which isn't too much of a surprise because this figure is based on an illustration by ASK, the same artist who did the Maietos Miku. But as far as I know, this one is a Chinese exclusive, so if you're willing to go through the trouble, this one might be worth going through a proxy for. Then Hobby Sakura had this lamp-like demon girl, a very cool concept, but I imagine it's pretty difficult to translate into a figure, the hardest part being the lighting effect. They did show off some photos which look pretty different from the illustration, but I am considering picking it up depending on how the final product turns out. The one I'm very likely to pre-order is this Astrum design figure. She's got a very unique outfit with a translucent raincoat, which if you're not a fan of, you can always take off, or if you just want to see her absurd number of pouches, especially when you look at the back where you can see she's carrying a lot of junk in the trunk. The only downside is I do wish the raincoat was a little more like the illustration, a little more vibrant and orange, though she is going to be a 1/6 scale, so her price might push me away. Animester also had some pretty impressive figures, can't wait to see these ones colored. You might want to keep an eye out for the Azure Lane one if you're into Fox Girls. But there was also this other Azure Lane figure by Neon Max Creative. A pretty figure, but if you look at the fan, you can see at the bottom there is the battleship, which is a pretty neat detail. This one obviously pairs extremely well with their other Azure Lane figure. Definitely a great set. This one is a bit of a heartbreaker because it would have been an instant pre-order. A very captivating design, but she's gonna be a 1/12 action figure, which isn't really my thing. Then B-Box has this pretty sick Arknights figure. It's gonna be 22,800 yen, which isn't too bad for 2 figures. I kinda wish they did a deluxe version with all 3 lions, especially the middle one that's petting her, but I do think the face, especially the mouth, could be a lot better. And then for our very last figure, we have an Amioji 1/4 scale figure by NetEase. From the snakes, you can probably guess this is the serpent god Orochi, but there is so much detail on this figure, especially the snakes with all their scales. But since it is a 1/4 scale, this would be poison to my wallet. But man, is it a impressive figure to look at. I wish I had time to talk about all the figures, but let me know if there's one I missed that you're really excited for. But as always, thanks for watching, subscribing would be awesome, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye bye.